From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Looking out at the Grand Ledge camera, fog is still there, but you can at least see the street lights. It's better than what it was earlier in the morning, with some spots actually getting back up close to 5-mile visibility, like in Adrian. It's still not the greatest in Lansing or Mason, down at half a mile, but we'll keep updating these numbers as we go forward through the morning. We'll check in on them as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you.
This year, if we show up, listen to, and learn from each other, we can move forward together and get things done.
As you just heard, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer wants legislators to work together as she laid out her priorities for the state. Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Thursday, February 27th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Maselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. Governor Gretchen Whitmer called for cooperation during her 7th State of the State address.
She identified political division as one of the main challenges facing Michigan this year. Governor Whitmer says she hopes to work together with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to lower costs and make intentional investments in things like education and roads.
She says the focus on bipartisanship is even more important this year with a split Michigan government. She directly addressed both parties to say fixing the roads would require both budget cuts and new revenue. The governor also spoke of working on lowering costs for Michiganders. She pitched a major state initiative to build new housing and also called on lawmakers to work on reducing medical debt and watch their expenses more closely. Here's a sample of what lawmakers from both sides of the aisle were saying.
I'm very hopeful that we're going to come up with a bipartisan solution for some of the big challenges that we have here.
We can talk all we want, but when it doesn't get done, that's no good for anybody.
We'll hear from the governor in the 6 things to know about.
We're following an investigation this morning after police say someone fired shots into a Lansing home. Lansing police tell 6 News it happened just before 2:30 this morning on Lyons Avenue near Clifford Park. Officers got several reports of shots fired, and when they got there, they found a home damaged with bullets. We're told no one was hurt. Lansing PD hasn't identified a suspect, but says there's no threat to the community.
The state has now confirmed a second case of bird flu in Monroe County involving a small backyard flock. The first case in that county was detected and reported 2 weeks ago, also involving another backyard flock. The virus was first detected among Michigan animals in 2022, and currently the state considers 8 cases to be active. The 2 in Monroe County, along with 2 in Ottawa County, and 1 each in Alpena, Wayne, Oakland, and Missaukee counties. And staying with the highly pathogenic avian influenza virus, it continues to impact the price of eggs across the country. In fact, the cost of eggs is more than 50% higher compared to a year ago because of the combination of bird flu and inflation. So, the federal government is now planning to import more eggs from overseas to help drive down the price. The Trump administration is in talks to purchase between 70 and 100 million eggs from foreign countries in the coming months. Now, that would be barely 1% of the roughly 8 billion eggs produced in the U.S. in January alone. However, the White House says the egg purchase would be just part of a multi-pronged strategy to address egg prices.
The new head of the Environmental Protection Agency now is urging President Donald Trump to reconsider the scientific finding that greenhouse gases endanger public health. The so-called endangerment finding, which was included in the Clean Air Act of 2009, has been the basis for a wide variety of federal climate regulations affecting cars, power plants, and industrial pollution. Former Trump transition advisor Steve Malloy says the finding is the linchpin in what the president calls the climate hoax. Scientists say getting rid of it would undo all previous EPA actions to fight climate change.
Today, President Donald Trump is set to host the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the White House amid discussion about Europe's role in ending Russia's war in Ukraine.
The president also said his cabinet will follow his orders as he and senior advisor Elon Musk pushed for deeper cuts to federal spending and warned agencies to prepare for more mass firings. Here for you now is Jared Hill.
We've had tremendous.
President Donald Trump is doubling down on DOGE.
I think everyone at this table is very much behind it.
At the first cabinet meeting of his second term, the president's senior advisor, Elon Musk, defended efforts to slash federal spending and chop the federal workforce.
If we don't do this, America will go bankrupt.
Wednesday, the president signed an executive order expanding the Department of Government Efficiency's power to make more cuts, specifically proposing they trim as much as 65% from the Environmental Protection Agency. The White House is also directing the heads of federal agencies to prepare for large-scale reductions in force.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting and incompetently run.
During Wednesday's meeting, President Trump also discussed Russia's war on Ukraine, acknowledging that Russia may have to make some concessions. Trump also announced he'll sign a rare minerals deal with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington tomorrow.
We're going to be working over there. We'll be on the land, and in that way, there's sort of automatic security.
The Russia-Ukraine war is likely to be a key topic when the president meets with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today at the White House. Jared Hill, CBS News.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're still seeing some foggy conditions on the Capitol camera, though close up you still have decent visibility. It's better than what it was earlier on in the morning, but still is below a mile in Mason and Lansing, right around the 2-mile mark or less in other spots. It is slightly better towards our south and east, where Adrian's up towards 5 miles an hour, or 5. Wow, we're switching from wind to visibility and back and forth again in the brain. We're at 5-mile visibility with an 8-mile-per-hour wind. It's still going to be a breezy day, but the morning is the calmest it'll be. That explains why we have fog now and won't later. There's also the chance for some rain moving in behind this first area of rain from overnight, though it's still over in Wisconsin, so we have some time between now and then. Molly is just kind of lounging about, hopefully enjoying some warmer indoor temperatures than what we have outside. Actual air temperature today could be in the upper 30s to low 40s, which is enough to give us rain instead of snow, but it's a yellow paw regardless. The red paw for this morning comes with that fog. It's just really damp and cold and just not a pleasant morning to go outside in. So I'd say stay inside if you can. That's my plan.
Yeah.
Maybe have some hot chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolate. I guess that's year round, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cold.
It's one of those days where you just want to cozy up in a book nook and read.
Oh, well.
I don't have a book nook, but yeah.
No book nook?
No.
Come on.
I don't have a book nook.
Gotta get one.
True.
I don't have one either, though.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't.
You've never picked up a book.
No.
Yeah.
And I love that about you.
The side eye you gave was
TV.
phenomenal.
Do you turn the captions on the TV?
No.
Okay.
No.
You read the teleprompter, so you're doing great.
No, I know this by memory. All these
your daily
stories. What are you
book.
talking about?
Me too.
I don't get a teleprompter.
Coming up, a local school district now getting a little boost. What the schools won and how they plan to use it in our What's on the Web segment.
All right.